Hi, I'm Edwin Ballaloy.
And I'm Nic Petrossi.
Today we're doing an interview with seasoned listing agent Nic Petrossi. Specializes in a few tracts over in North Orange County and a lot over in Placentia as well. Now, Nic, you've been selling real estate for quite some time, and there are listings out there that just sit on the market, and for some reason you're able to get your listings sold. So what do you do differently?
You know, Edwin, that's a good question. There's a lot of realtors out there. There's a lot to choose from. What I do differently is outside the box methods of advertising your home. First and foremost, what are we doing right now? We're on camera, right? This is a video. Technology is going to be the way of the future. We're going to get to that a little bit later, I think, in this interview. But I use video, Edwin. I do a virtual tour open house of your home, which basically takes the buyers who like to remain anonymous. They don't like to call agents and ask questions. They can see it right there in the safety and the comfort of their own home, your home. And so that's one thing. The other thing I do is I promote the home on all the other websites that other realtors have no clue that they even exist. And so exposure is a big deal. And the other thing, Edwin, that I do is pricing. And with pricing of homes, you really need a pro that knows the market and knows where to price your home in that market. Because if you're overpriced, you're sitting on the market, you're gathering dust and days on market, and then buyers are saying, what's wrong with your house? So you really need someone to know the area, the market, who runs the comps and knows where to price your home.
Now, Nic, it's obviously a seller's market right now, below $600,000. You're getting multiple offers on properties. Tell me, what do you do as soon as you start getting, just so the buyers know what to look for and how to write their offers up? Let's say you put a listing on the market, and this typically does happen, and more than 10 offers come in. Now, what do you do at that point?
That's a good question too. It's a great position to be in, first and foremost. I mean, to have 10 offers or even 5 to look at is great. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to be looking at not what you're thinking is price, and what the buyer, the owners, excuse me, are thinking is what's the offer at? You know, how much do they offer? There's way more to it than that. What I'm looking at is the credibility of the agents that are sending in these offers. And it's not that we're going to push to the side Joe Blow agent from Riverside who's making an offer on an Orange County property. But when I know the other agent, or I know they're from a reputable company, they're a full-time agent, they're not going to be teaching in the afternoon on the phone, trying to handle a classroom while trying to work out the details of our transaction, I'll feel more confident with the agent if I know they're full-time.
Oh, so let me get this right. So if you had 2 offers that are close to each other, and one agent happens to be a loan officer on the side, maybe has even a full-time job, that it has a big impact on their ability to get accepted?
Absolutely, absolutely. And not that, you know, of course, this is going to be the seller's decision and not mine. But when it comes down to it, and I'm advising my client on which offer to take, they're close, they're 440, 445 offer, real close. I'm going to say, do you want to gamble here? Do you want to put this transaction in the hands of an inexperienced agent or a loan officer that doesn't know what they're doing, or a family member or a friend? I'd rather go with the offer with a buyer's agent as somebody from a Prudential, maybe a First Team or Century 21, but at least if they're a full-time agent.
Yeah, and in the end, it really does make sense because you're possibly looking at a second or third escrow, right? If it ends up falling out because of an inexperienced agent on the other side, right? Right,
and not only that, Edwin, but when they fall out and when the property's in escrow with a bad agent that doesn't know what they're doing, you know, that's tying up the property, and so that really hurts my sellers. So I highly recommend to advise my clients to go with the buyer's agent that's had some time.
Yeah, and it really makes sense because you're talking about really shrinking down that process going into a safe escrow. Somebody who really knows what they're doing on the other side. I just wanted to move on to a lot of changes that are going on in the real estate market because we've had the way we used to sell real estate back in the day when there were big, thick MLS books and there were no computers. Where do you see real estate going, and what are you doing differently to go get your listings exposure out there so you could get your sellers top dollar?
Oh, great question. You know, and this is something I'm excited about, and truly, what year are we in? 2010 almost? I mean, we are in a time when 85 to 90% of people are looking on the internet, and the other 10%, their computer broke. Okay, so this is the time of people searching for homes on the internet. This is the time when the cell phones are out there and people can literally look on Zillow.com when they're out walking on the neighborhoods and check out properties. So Edwin, I see the future of real estate in technology. I see it really going away from paper. I see us going to the internet. I see home sales and exhibiting and showcasing homes happening on the internet with virtual tours more and more and more in the future. And that's something that we're really on top of, and we're really looking into what kind of technologies are out there to really put us in the driver's seat for 2010.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, there's a lot of buzz that's out there about social media, YouTube, you know, of course, being on social media, being on Twitter and Facebook. You know, what are you doing right versus a lot of these agents who are spending a lot of time on there and not really getting any buyer leads or any exposure for their listings?
That's a great question. I mean, social networking is definitely one of those facets of technology in 2010. You know, with the Facebooking and with the Twittering and all the different you know, social networking sites out there, what I'm doing a little different is I'm putting my virtual tours on Facebook.
Oh.
Okay, linking from Twitter to Facebook, whatever it might be, so that the public out there can see your home in a virtual tour through a social media network. Maybe Jane Black has a friend or a family member that wants to see your home, and lo and behold, she sees my post on Facebook with my virtual tour of your property, and she forwards that on or tells her friend about it. Next thing you know, we have a buyer.
Yeah, and in the end, there's a lot of internet activity being done by a lot of agents out there. Now, you've been able to be successful in not only putting the homes on the MLS, but it looks like when you enter certain search strings on the search engines like Google and Yahoo, you're showing up on the first page, aren't you?
Yeah, and I am. And you know what it is just basically taking your home and really wanting to get, let's say for example, someone's out there looking up Placentia homes, and so they Google Placentia homes. I'm going to pop up first page my website on Placentia homes. Why is that important? Because when they click on my website, a featured listing button will pop up. Click on the featured listing. We have photos of your home. Okay, so it's a big deal. It really is.
Yeah, so it really ends up driving a lot of traffic to your website, and then they get to see your sellers' homes. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that really wraps things up. Again, I'm Edwin Balloy. This is Nic Petrossi.